Alright guys, welcome back to Underground Science. In this video we're going to be talking about Krabbe disease, also called Globoid cell leukodystrophy. Alright, so the inheritance pattern is autosomal recessive. Alright, so again this is a lysosomal storage disorder. Okay. So again, the main thing to know about these lysosomal storage disorders are what enzyme is deficient and what accumulates. Okay. So what enzyme is deficient in this globoid cell leukodystrophy or Krabbe disease, right? So the enzyme that's deficient is called galactocerebrosidase, okay? So what in general accumulates, right? So what lipid accumulates? That's going to be spelled that wrong, galactocerebrosidase, okay? Or galactocerebroside. Sorry, the enzyme that is deficient is galactocerebrosidase. So it only makes sense that the molecule that accumulates is galactocerebrosides, right? And we need to know one other molecule, which is called cycosine. Okay, cycosine. All right. So it turns out that cycosine is pretty toxic, right? Especially to our certain glial cells in our central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Okay, so specifically for central nervous system, oligodendrocytes, and for peripheral nervous system, the Schwann cells, right? Cycosine can be pretty toxic to them, so that's why we see demyelination in the central and peripheral nervous system. And what that can lead to is if we see demyelination in the central nervous system, right? So that can lead to, well, it's on the list, but we can add it in, right? That can lead to like ataxia. We can see seizures, right? We can also see spasticity in the findings for Krabbe disease. We can also see things like cognitive decline. All right, but other main findings we need to focus on is that in Krabbe disease we see globoid cells. Okay, globoid cells are basically large multinucleated macrophages. Okay, macrophages that have a buildup of certain galactolipids in them, okay, because of the deficiency of galactocerebrosidase. All right, so we see globoid cells, we see the atrophy of the optic nerve, right? So we see the atrophy of the optic nerve, which can lead to what? Vision loss, right? Because you need your optic nerve to see things. And then we can also see destruction of oligodendrocytes, like we mentioned in the previous slide, right? Because of the cycosine buildup. We see destruction of oligodendrocytes, which means decreased amount of myelination, right? Myelination in your central nervous system, right? Because oligodendrocytes are the glial cells responsible for myelinating your neurons in your central nervous system. If you destroy oligodendrocytes, you're not going to be able to myelinate your central nervous system neurons properly, right? We also see developmental delay, peripheral neuropathy, and then like we said, we can also see ataxia, seizures, spasticity, cognitive decline, and more, right? But these are the important findings that we should keep in mind, okay? So just to review, Krabbe disease, or also called globoid cell leukodystrophy, we see that there's a deficiency in the galactocerebrosidase enzyme, right, that leads to the buildup of galactocerebrosides and cycosine. This can lead to certain findings like globoid cells, which are large multinucleated macrophages. Sorry, I couldn't speak there, right? So again, we find globoid cells. We also see oligodendrocyte destruction, right? So we also see optic nerve atrophy. We see peripheral neuropathy. We see seizures. We see ataxia. We see spasticity. We see cognitive decline. We see developmental delay. We see peripheral neuropathy, right? And that's basically it, right? So that's Krabbe disease, or also called globoid cell leukodystrophy. And these are the major findings that we should be familiar with. And again, in our future videos, we'll be talking about more lysosomal storage disorders. All right, so hope you guys learned something in this video, And I hope to see you guys in my future videos. Thanks for watching.